Good morning. So going live on Instagram and Facebook at the same time this morning. So something that has been coming up for me today, something that's been coming up for me yesterday, and interestingly, as I have had a little scroll this morning, as you do, I've noticed so many other people speaking about this exact same thing. So I don't know how long this live's going to be. Might be a super quick one. But basically, good morning, Kelly. I want to speak to you today about discipline, and I'm going to give you some examples of things where you're maybe thinking are inconsequential and doesn't actually matter. Good morning, Rebecca. And I want you just to have this little thought in your head as you go through your week, as you go through your day, just thinking about what is, without being harsh, and I'm going to give examples of what I do because I'm not perfect, what is your lack of discipline costing you? And this came up for me today because a number of different things. There were some things happened yesterday with my daughter. There's, I've been on the phone to the school this morning, and just around this compound effect of how our actions then affect our future. Now, let me dive into a first example. So this morning, I went for a walk with the dog with my husband. Now, as many of you know, I'd had issues with my balance. It's a rainy day today here in Scotland. We were out for a walk, steep paths which were tarred. That seems to affect, or had affected in the past, for some reason, my balance. Now, I stopped and I said to my husband, I'm going to go up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. He was like, oh, does that make you feel good? I was like, no, it absolutely does not make me feel good at the time, but afterwards it makes me feel good. So I walked up and down this hill, so I could teach my brain, actually, this is really easy, this is really easy, this is really easy, and then it becomes easier. Another example is writing my meditation book. I've been writing this it was supposed to be out weeks ago, and the reason it hasn't is my own lack of discipline. I was not prioritizing. So what you don't prioritize doesn't happen. So that's two examples. Example with my daughter is my daughter had 2 sleepovers, up really late, super tired, grumpy today. I'm sure we can all relate to doing that, or being out partying, and then you got to go work on the Monday and you're like, oh no. And it's this compound effect because the lack of discipline at the time compounds to feeling shit later on. Okay, and that's kind of where I'm coming from today. Just really thinking about the compound effect of our actions. What is your lack of discipline costing you? So for me, it's costing me not having released my book yet, which annoys me every single day. I was speaking to someone about stopping smoking the other day. So I haven't smoked for 14 years. Do I still want to smoke? Actually, sometimes I do. I smelled a lady smoking the other day and I was like, oh my gosh, hey Cheryl, the smell of her cigarette actually triggered that response in me to want a cigarette. Did I go and buy some cigarettes? Did I go and smoke and have one? No, I never, because I had that discipline. Now, people might think, oh, well, Susie, you're a really disciplined person. You're really good at, sticking to things and having boundaries and doing that. Am I F? Okay? It is hard. It's so much easier to take that short-term gain, whether that be the eating crap food for 1 day is fine, 2 days may be fine, day 3, compound effect. You're going to feel it. So those of you that are watching, you can maybe think of some things yourself, like where do you wish you were showing up with more discipline? So for me right now, it's getting that book finished. It is, being more disciplined with my daughter, being an incredible parent, showing up, doing the hard stuff. I said that to my daughter yesterday. We need to have hard conversations sometimes. We need to do the difficult thing because then it makes everything else easier afterwards. So it could be, as I say, maybe there's somebody at work, maybe there's a friend that you need to have a difficult conversation with and you're just putting that off. So it's that short term, oh well, it just feels easier not to do it. Whereas actually, if we go and just have that conversation. Yeah, it's going to feel really freaking uncomfortable, but actually afterwards it feels better, you know? So I want you, as you go through your week, to think, okay, how can I show up in a more disciplined way for myself? Because the other aspect of this is, when you are not, you are losing that trust and confidence with yourself. So if you struggle with confidence in any way, shape or form, you need to be showing up for yourself in a more disciplined way, and you will build that trust with yourself that actually, oh, like I know Kelly's watching and I see Kelly does lots of cold water swimming now. You know, I'm sure that wasn't easy to start with. I'm sure that was really freaking hard to go and to do that. And you can maybe let me know, Kelly, if that's the case. But now you're doing it all the time and it gets easier. The hard things get easier. So sometimes we just have to do the hard thing, whether we want to or not. Yeah. So have a think about that today. Hey, Shona, what hard things are you putting off just for that immediate short-term gain? Is it going to your bed at a decent time at night? Because I tell you, when last week I was like, no, I want to bed, you know, I want to bed at a decent time every night. I felt so much better for doing it. Was it easy? No. Did I want to stay up and watch another episode of a program with my daughter? Yes. You know, so it's just being disciplined. So let's build that trust and confidence with ourselves this week. Let's build in that sense of discipline for ourselves and maybe for those around you, you know, putting those boundaries in place, and see how that goes. See the transformation begin to take place. I'm pleased to say that I finished editing my book yesterday because I was disciplined. I sat and I freaking did it. So, you know, take the time, be disciplined, show up for yourself. I'm going to be back later, maybe straight after this, but I won't do it as the same live. Doing a live about faith, spirituality, woo-woo stuff, logic, and my group coaching program. So that is going to be coming up next. But I just wanted to have that conversation today. I've seen it on Vanessa Stead's Facebook page. I've seen it on Shannon Andrews' page today. She was speaking about discipline as well. And we all fall off the wagon. So Shona's saying she wants to move more, develop a regular yoga practice. So what I would say is set yourself up for success. You know, pick a 10-minute practice on YouTube. I can even send you one, Shona, you know, or I think there'll be ones, I'll maybe share one in our Be Free members space. You know, do a 10-minute practice in the morning. And if it is something like that, I would urge you to do it in the morning, because the day will take over and it won't get prioritized. So if you are looking to build in new practices, I would suggest you try and do it in the morning before the day gets too busy, and then that voice creeps in later. Oh, can't be bothered, I've had a really hard day, da 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 da, yada yada yada. Yeah. So let's show up for ourselves, build that confidence, commit to ourselves, and be more disciplined as we go through our week with compassion as well. Yeah. Sometimes putting the discipline in place for ourselves means saying no to other people as well. So let's do that too. So let's be strong this week as we go forward. And I'm going to be back sharing about faith, spirituality, my group coaching, and logic as well. Okay. Love you guys. Bye.